Welcome to another episode of Blog Critic News. For Vader TV, this is John Shinal. The big question this week is Facebook, the new belle of the Web 2.0 ball, really worth $15 billion? One potential suitor, a Mr. Eric Schmidt of the Googleville Schmidts, had his doubts about the socialite's pedigree. But as Schmidt looked down his nose, another suitor arrived. A Mr. Steve Ballmer of the prosperous firm Microsoft & Co. of Redmond, Washington. He needed no convincing. So sure was he of Facebook's value, so strong was his yearning to accompany her on her much-anticipated overseas debut, that Ballmer dropped to his knee, proposed, and won her hand on the spot. Now, after winning his prize, he wasted no time in securing it. As Silicon Valley elite looked on, Ballmer went to his car, looked through the cushions, found $240 million, and promptly handed it over to Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Now, for his money, Ballmer gets to keep the relationship exclusive and keeps Google off of Facebook's dance card for at least several years, or until Zuckerberg is old enough to stay out past midnight on the company. Now, the deal was a big win for Ballmer, who famously refuses to even use the word Google when he speaks, and who previously lost several contests earlier this year to Schmidt. Ballmer was so overcome with joy, as you see here on the video. He was overcome with euphoria. He launched into a rapturous conniption that nearly sent him flying out of his chair at the Web 2.0 conference in San Francisco. Now, Ballmer managed to tweak Schmidt's nose on the very day that Google was hosting Wall Street and media types for its annual Analyst Day. Schmidt, infuriated, promptly gave orders that anyone using the word Microsoft be thrown from the campus. What's more, Blog Critic News has learned that cash-rich Google is negotiating to buy the entire state of Washington so it can evict Microsoft from its headquarters in Redmond. Now, the huge valuation bestowed on Facebook brought a smile to this man, Rupert Murdoch, News Corp chairman and media mogul, who paid a measly $580 million for Facebook rival MySpace.com just 2 years ago. Now, Murdoch, who has often been accused of using his media properties to further his own interests, once again had to refute those charges this week when one of his London business tabloids carried a story about Facebook with the headline, "Facebook Valuation Shocker." One of his other tabloids then followed up with their own blistering critique, "Facebook Sex Shocker." The other big story this week came from Apple, which said that it sold 1.3 billion iPhones in the product's first quarter of sales.
John, that's million, not billion.
I'm sorry?
Apple sold 1.3 million during the quarter, not 0.3 billion.
But it says 1.3 billion right here. I'm reading from the Apple release right here, 1.3 billion. Are you suggesting a company run by Steve Jobs would not be fully truthful about something as the iPhone? Is that what you're getting at? You know what? Get him out of here. Get this guy. He's out of here. Come on, get out. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. Okay, just had a few hecklers here. Okay, where were we? Oh, yes. Apple said it will also begin selling certified iPhones in Europe, where previously the only versions allowed for sale were gray market models with hacked software. This will allow iPhone fans across the water to get the device at an Apple store or on the internet rather than having to buy it from a tall man in a trench coat at the back of an alleyway. Lastly, Jobs said that Apple will also start allowing third-party applications to run on the new device, something that the Apple developer community has been asking for months. Now, as you see here, developers started lining up at Apple's Cupertino headquarters for the opportunity to pitch their ideas on iPhone applications, even at the risk of infuriating the mercurial and perfectionist Jobs. We've got some tape right here of some of those first meetings. Let's roll those, fellas, can we? Ooh. Okay. Well, I'm sure he's okay. I'm sure he had an iPhone and it broke his fall. Well, that's all the time we have this week. For Blog Critic News and Vader TV, this is John Shinal.